Mom, what the hell was that supposed to be? Do you have no shame pulling a stunt like that? Oh, what are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. You invited me to celebrate Riley's wedding, called me out last minute, said it was a family gathering. And then what? You made sure everyone had a full-course meal, and me? You served me one bean, literally one bean on an empty plate in front of everyone. I did serve you something, didn't I? What's the issue? You seriously call a single bean serving something? And don't even pretend that it wasn't intentional. Riley looked me in the eyes, knocked it off the plate, and laughed, said, "Oops, my bad," like it was the funniest thing ever. Do you even hear how cruel that sounds? Well, beans are nutritious. What's wrong with eating a bean? That's not the point, and you know it. You humiliated me on purpose. I was the only one sitting there with an empty plate while you all dined on steak and wine like royalty. Ugh, enough already. You're not part of this family anymore. You got married, remember? You're someone else's problem now. Honestly, you should have been grateful we even gave you a bean. Grateful? Are you seriously saying I should be grateful you publicly humiliated me after I paid for the damn wedding? As the older sister, it's only natural you'd help with your siblings' wedding costs. What, you want a trophy for doing what you're supposed to do? That's so pathetic. No wonder Riley said you were acting high and mighty after just covering a few expenses. A few? I covered the venue, catering, and even her honeymoon deposit. Do you have any idea how much that cost me? And all I get in return is mockery and a bean? You only see me as your wallet, don't you? Well, it was a celebration for my daughter. We were having steak and champagne. Why should a married outsider expect the same treatment? You're not one of us anymore. Then why did you even invite me? For fun, maybe? A little entertainment? I thought it'd be amusing to see how you'd react. And come on, the bean joke was hilarious. Lighten up, you're the outsider now. Be glad we even acknowledged you. Wow, okay. I see exactly what this is. This isn't just about today. This is years of you using me, draining me dry, and then tossing me aside like I'm disposable. You know what? I'm done. I'm cutting all of you off. No more financial support. No more bailing you or Riley out. I'm through being your ATM. Go ahead, try it. You think you're scaring anyone? You already paid for everything. The venue, the catering, it's all done. There's nothing left to cancel. Your precious money's gone, sweetheart. You can't take it back. You're not as smart as you think you are. I may not be able to cancel what's already done, but you better believe I'll never pay for anything again. Not a dime. And don't expect me to come running the next time Riley can't pay rent or you can't keep the lights on. Huh! You say that now, but we both know how desperate you are to be accepted. You'll come crawling back, just like always. No, not this time. This was the last straw. I stayed quiet for too long, thinking maybe one day you'd actually treat me like a daughter. But you never saw me that way. Just a piggy bank you could guilt into handing over cash. I'm done playing along. Oh, please, you think you're the victim here? You've always been a whiny little brat, acting like the world owes you something just because you paid for your sister's big day. No, I was the daughter who worked 3 jobs just to keep up with your demands. The one who paid your medical bills when you said you were too sick to work. The one who made sacrifices just to hear you say thank you one day. But all I got was a cold plate with a bean and your laughter echoing across the room. And yet, here you are, still whining. Not anymore. I'm not whining. I'm walking away. From you, from Riley, from this twisted, toxic mess you call a family. Penelope, are you feeling a little calmer now? I think so, and I'm really sorry, Mariah. I shouldn't have shown up unannounced like that. Please don't apologize. I was happy to see you again. You visiting lifted my spirits more than you realize. I've been preparing myself for the loneliness that comes after losing my daughter, her husband, and my grandson all at once. But having a young woman like you care enough to stop by, well, that's more comforting than I can explain. Always been so kind to me. I needed to see your face. I thought it might help keep me steady, but as soon as I saw you, I just broke down. The tears wouldn't stop. I'm sorry for being such a mess in front of you. Nonsense! You don't need to apologize for crying. Being able to cry when you're in pain is a sign of strength, not weakness. It means you're facing what you're feeling, not running from it. That said, I have to admit something. And I hate to speak poorly of anyone's parent, truly I do. But your mother, she hasn't changed a bit, has she? No, she hasn't. And I know you've seen it from the beginning. You've always noticed how she treated me differently. I've been a burden to her my entire life, even when I tried my hardest to be good. I could never understand how she justified treating you so unfairly. Even as a child, it was painfully clear that your home was no safe haven. She silenced you, diminished you, favored your sister Riley so openly it made everyone uncomfortable. She never let you speak up for yourself, never let you out of her sight. But Riley, she was paraded around like a little princess, out at parties, dressed up in new clothes, praised at every turn. It was cruel. I spent so many nights at your house growing up. Those were the only times I felt like a normal kid. I used to think that if I just kept being quiet, obedient, helpful, then eventually Mom would love me the way she loved Riley. But the truth is, the more I behaved, the more she resented me. She thought I was cold, distant. She wanted me to act like Riley, who was all bubbly, loud, attention-seeking. But that's never been me, and it wasn't enough. And even when you went to college, she still didn't support you, did she? No, she kicked me out, told me to pay my own way, said I was an adult and had no right to expect anything from her. Meanwhile, she let Riley live at home rent-free and paid her entire tuition. That still makes my blood boil. And yet, despite all that, you worked 2 jobs, juggled your classes, and still graduated. Then you got married and moved out, thinking you were finally free. Or so we thought. I wanted to be done with it all, but escaping isn't as easy as locking a door. The worst part is, I'm still financially tied to her. That's what keeps pulling me back in. You're still giving her money? Yes. She's been demanding I pay interest on a loan she gave me back when I was in college. Just $1,000. I borrowed it once during an emergency, and she's never let me forget it. Since then, she's been texting me nonstop, saying I owe her more and more. She says she's adding interest every month. I tried to ignore it for years, but now she's threatening to sue. Wait, you're telling me she's still taking money from you over that loan, even though you're paying the rent on her house? Yes, and now she wants me to pay for Riley's wedding. She told me if I won't cover it, she'll call in the full loan and demand payment immediately. Penelope, how much does she say you owe her now? She says the interest has grown to $50,000. 50 what? How is that even possible? You only borrowed $1,000. I couldn't pay it back right away. I started making small payments 6 months later, but by then she'd already added a ridiculous amount of interest. She made me sign a loan agreement. It's legally binding. She says if I refuse to pay, she'll take me to court. That's predatory. It's financial abuse. I've heard of payday lenders charging absurd rates, but your own mother? That's worse than loan sharks. I know, but if it goes to court, my husband will get dragged into it, and I'm scared. So I've just been paying her, quietly, hoping she'll stop. But I'm done. I'm stopping all payments. If she sues me, then fine. I'll take out a loan and pay her off once and for all. No, you are not giving her another cent. What? I have a close friend who's a lawyer. I'm calling him. This entire thing is a legal and ethical nightmare. That contract is almost certainly invalid if the interest is that high. You need to let her go, Penelope. I know that's hard to hear, but cutting her off? That might be the only way to survive this. Letting go of my mom? I don't know if I can. It's a huge decision, but it's also a necessary one. Penelope, I'm going to say something you probably already know deep down. Your mother is never going to love you the way you deserve. To her, you're not a daughter. You're an ATM. And the longer you let her treat you like that, the more you're going to suffer. Is that really what you want for your future? I don't want this pain anymore. I want it to stop. And today, something changed. Something inside me snapped. I actually talked back to her. I never do that, but I couldn't hold it in anymore. Exactly. That fire inside you. Hold on to it. It's your strength. You've been quiet too long, Penelope. I don't want to run away. I want them held accountable, her and Riley both, for everything they've done to me. That's the spirit I've been waiting to see. I'll support you however I can, and if it comes to court, I'll testify. I've known you since you were a child, and I've seen it all. You're not alone. Thank you, Mariah, really. Now, first things first, you need to practice standing your ground. We're going to roleplay some conversations so you can speak to her without freezing. The moment you hesitate, she'll use it against you. Are you seriously going to make me rehearse? Absolutely! You've cried in my arms too many times for me to let this go. You're like a granddaughter to me, Penelope. And anyone who makes you cry like that, well, they've got a problem with me now, too. What the hell is going on? I just got a call saying the rent and utilities for the house didn't go through this month. They said the automatic payments bounced. This must be some kind of mistake, right? Go take care of it, now! It's not a mistake. I closed the bank account that was being used for those payments. It's done. What? I told you already. I said I was stopping all payments, and I meant it. I followed through. I even called and explained the situation to the wedding planner and canceled the payment for Riley's ceremony. I'm guessing she's getting some angry phone calls by now. So that's why she was in such a panic this morning. But wait, how can you just cancel a wedding like that? You can't refund everything. That was a huge amount of money. I hired a lawyer to handle it. A lawyer? Yes. I've been taken advantage of for 8 straight years, and I finally opened my eyes to it. All this time, I kept telling myself it was just family, that I had to put up with it, that it would be wrong to cut ties with my own parents. But I was wrong. I let guilt and social pressure blind me. People always say you only get one mother, or no matter what, you should respect your parents. And I let that nonsense crush me into silence. Well, not anymore. I'm done being your daughter. You don't get to say something like that! You can't just throw us aside! What do you think will happen if you stop paying for everything? We'll be out on the street! Do you want that? And what about the wedding? It's next month! We've sent invitations! People will be offended if we cancel! How dare you embarrass this family like that? Just pay the money already! You told me to try being independent and figure it out on my own, so I did. I figured it out, and this is what I decided. And it doesn't stop there. I gave my lawyer all the payment records from the last 8 years. Every transfer, every check, every time you demanded money. I also gave them screenshots of the texts where you pressured and manipulated me. You kept records? You planned this? It's called a budget, Mom. When you live paycheck to paycheck, you learn to track every cent. I've had to be careful my whole life because no one else ever looked out for me. Now my lawyer is reviewing everything. You'll be hearing from them soon. And just so we're clear, this isn't a bluff. I'm done. Not a single cent more. This can't be happening. You're acting like a completely different person. What happened to my obedient daughter? If this is how you want to play it, then fine. Pay back the loan I gave you during college. Pay it now, or I'll take you to court. Feel free. Go ahead and sue me. What? You heard me. If that's what you want to do, be my guest. But just know I'm ready now. I have the documents, the records, the screenshots. I have more than enough evidence to show what you've been doing to me. For years, I was too afraid to stand up to you. I kept hoping things would get better. I stayed quiet, even when it hurt. Even when I cried myself to sleep, wondering what I did to deserve this. But here's what you don't understand. The only reason you've lived this comfortably all these years is because of me. Because I let it happen. Because I gave in. That wasn't kindness on your part. That was me trying to hold our family together. But you crossed the line one too many times. And now I'm done playing nice. Penelope, about yesterday. I might have gone a little too far with what I said. It was just a joke, you know. I got a little carried away at a celebratory event, that's all. So don't take it so personally. It's time you stop being so dramatic and just pay what you owe, okay? A joke? That was supposed to be a joke? You've got to be kidding me! You really don't understand the position you're in, do you? Let me spell it out for you. If I don't make that payment, you're going to be evicted from that condo. Do you get that? So don't you dare send me these pathetic messages acting like you're still in control. It's disgusting. What on earth are you talking about? That condo belonged to your father, and after he passed, the ownership went to me. Unless I choose not to renew the lease, no one can kick me out. You really should stop trying to intimidate me. No, see, that's where you're wrong. That condo, it's not in Dad's name. It's not in yours either. It's in mine. My name is on the deed. Still don't believe me? Call the landlord, Mariah. You've got her number, don't you? Hello, Mariah. This is Diana from apartment 503. I wanted to ask about the lease we have on this place. I believe I'm the one listed on the contract, right? There was a lot of chaos after my husband passed, and unfortunately, I can't find the paperwork. Would you mind reissuing the lease agreement for me? Hello, Diana. Thank you for reaching out. A reissue of the lease. I'm afraid that won't be possible unless the request comes directly from the person listed on the lease. Could you have the tenant on record, Penelope, contact me instead? What are you talking about? I'm the tenant. The lease is in my name. I'm afraid not. The current leaseholder is Penelope. She's been the official tenant since she was in college. She's the one who signed the contract and has been paying rent every month since. Actually, now that I think about it, we haven't received payment for this month yet. If that continues, the lease may be subject to termination. Hold on, what? That doesn't make any sense! This apartment was originally leased under my late husband's name. There must be some mistake. How unfortunate. You truly had no idea, did you? Excuse me? Yes, your husband was the original tenant, that's true. But shortly before he passed away, he accumulated a considerable amount of debt. He was struggling financially and barely able to keep up. Debt? Wait, what? He never told me anything about that. It got so bad that he had to terminate the lease. But he never told you, did he? Instead, he kept up the illusion that you all still had a place to stay. He didn't want to leave you homeless, even if it meant hiding the truth. Then, how did Penelope get involved in all this? After her father passed, Penelope came to my office on her own. She was just 18 at the time, barely an adult, and she told me she wanted to take over the lease. She said she'd be moving out, but still wanted to make sure her family had a place to live. I was shocked. It turns out her father had spoken to her just before the end, told her everything. And even though she was just a kid, she made the decision to protect you. She said, if my parents are supporting me, the least I can do is cover the rent. Of course, I later learned there was no support at all. You kicked her out, and still she paid the rent month after month. I ask you this, Diana. Don't you feel even a shred of shame as a parent, letting your own daughter carry that burden while you lived comfortably? I didn't know. Nobody told me any of this. And besides, she moved out, didn't she? She wanted to be independent. Well, if she's grown up enough to leave home, then she's grown up enough to help out financially. That's only fair. That logic is exactly why I said what I said. Penelope has decided not to pay for you anymore, and frankly, I don't blame her. Up until now, I've been lenient with late payments because I knew Penelope's heart. I knew she was trying her best under circumstances no one her age should have had to deal with. But my patience was for her, not for you. You've taken advantage of her long enough, and I don't run a building that allows tenants to exploit their own children. If rent isn't paid by the end of this week, you need to vacate the apartment. No exceptions. What? You can't do this to me. Not now. This is all too sudden. Sudden? Diana, you've been living in that apartment for years without paying a dime yourself. If anything, this is long overdue. You should have been the one covering the rent in the first place. The fact that you don't understand that only proves how little you've contributed. I've let it slide out of compassion for Penelope, but I won't let this go on any longer. This conversation is over. Hey, Mom. I saw you reached out to Mariah to ask for a reissue of the lease agreement. You know, if you had just asked me, I could have shown it to you directly. I already sent you the photo. Did you look at it? So, whose name is listed as the official tenant? I still can't believe it. All this time, I never knew it was you who signed that lease. Yep, that's how it's been for years. But starting this month, you'll need to start paying the rent yourself. I already told Mariah I'm ending my lease. I've submitted the contract termination notice. Terminating the lease? Wait, if you cancel the lease, how are we supposed to stay here? We'll be kicked out. Not necessarily. If you still want to live there, you can transfer the lease into your own name. I've already completed and signed all the necessary paperwork for the lease transfer and left it with Mariah. All you have to do is go down there and sign the new contract in your name this time. You can't be serious. That rent is way too high. And we've got Riley's wedding coming up. I can't afford to start paying rent now. Then move out. Nobody's forcing you to stay, but if you can afford to throw a big wedding for Riley, then maybe your priorities are just a little off. Wait, what are you saying? Have you checked the mailbox lately? You should have received something by now. What did you do? The wedding fund? Gone. I canceled the check and withdrew the remainder of the money I was contributing. You'll find a formal notice in the envelope from my lawyer. I've stopped all payments, rent, utilities, the wedding, everything. From now on, whatever you need, you pay for it yourself. But that's not fair. We're your family. I was your family, but all these years, you treated me like a credit card, not a daughter. You never once hesitated to make me pay for things you didn't want to cover yourself. And now that I finally said enough is enough, suddenly you want to play the we're family card? Sorry, Mom, that card's maxed out. You can't just abandon us like this. What are we supposed to do? Figure it out. Just like I had to figure it out when you kicked me out at 18, when I worked 2 jobs to survive, when I paid your rent while living in a cramped apartment I could barely afford. I've done my part, way more than I should have. Now it's time for you to start taking responsibility for your own life. Like I said, if you want to stay in the apartment, the paperwork is ready, but the rent is yours now. If you can't manage it, then it's time to find somewhere else to live. And one more thing, don't try to guilt me again. It won't work anymore. Penelope, I just got the letter from that law firm. What is going on? I already told you, didn't I? I kept records of all the payments I've made on your behalf over the past 8 years. Rent, utilities, your personal expenses, wedding deposits, even Riley's tuition. All of it. Documented. Legally, it was me covering your expenses up front. Now I'm collecting what's owed. You'll be hearing directly from the attorney about the repayment schedule. Don't ignore their contact. You can't pretend this isn't happening. This is unbelievable! How could you do something so cruel to your own mother? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Not even a little. If anything, I'm ashamed I didn't do this sooner. You're twisting everything! I never treated you badly! Oh, really? Because I remember everything. You want to talk about shame? Let's talk about the day I came to you all broke, humiliated, just trying to survive. I had nothing left after paying your rent, your electricity bills, and my own college tuition. I swallowed my pride and asked for help. I needed just a little money. And what did you do? You made me kneel, literally kneel and beg for it. You said if I wanted to borrow from you, I had to show proper humility. Then you made me sign a written pledge that said I'd obey you until the debt was repaid, and that if I disobeyed you, you'd double the amount I owed. That was a lesson. You needed to learn not to take money lightly. No, that was abuse. You say it was about responsibility, but I was broke because of you. And by the way, I still have that paper you taped to the side of your fridge where you left it all these years like some sick trophy. I took a photo and brought it to my lawyer. She was horrified. The language in the document, the way you forced me to sign it, it counts as coercion. The interest alone makes it predatory. It's legally unenforceable. If I had spoken to a lawyer back then, I wouldn't have spent all these years drowning in shame and guilt. But that's what our family does, right? Turns love into debt, turns silence into obedience. It's a curse. But you chose to help us. You said it was your way of being a good daughter. I'll admit, maybe the loan was mishandled, but the rest? You were being generous. Are you really going to charge your own family for being kind? Kindness? No, this wasn't kindness. This was financial abuse. I might have accepted the rent payments as part of some twisted sense of duty, but you forced me to cover Riley's tuition even after kicking me out of the house and refusing to pay for mine. You made me foot the bill for her wedding while never even acknowledging mine. Don't talk to me about kindness. You treated me like a wallet with legs. That's not fair. That was just part of being family. Then explain why I'm the only one who ever paid a damn cent. And don't even start blaming Dad. You kept spending while he was sick. Brand name handbags, spa trips, and whatever Riley wanted on a whim. You drained him, and when he found out he was dying, you still couldn't stop. He begged you to tone it down, but you didn't care. You said there was no point in being frugal if he wasn't going to live much longer. You don't know what you're talking about. don't I? He told me himself. He knew you wouldn't change. So he confided in me, told me everything about the debt, the lease, the fear. He didn't want you to lose the house, so he asked me to step in. I was 18. I was a kid. But I took the lease, I paid the bills, and I kept his secret. Not because I owed you anything, but because I loved him. I loved him so much I let you walk all over me just to keep that roof over your head. Then keep doing it. If you really loved him, then keep protecting us. No. You asked earlier why now. Why am I doing this now? Because you looked me in the eye and said you should be grateful even for a single bean we give you. That was it. That was the moment I realized I'm nothing but a sideshow to you. An extra. An afterthought. You want me to sacrifice everything and never ask for anything in return. You want a daughter who serves you in silence, even when she's breaking. Well, you don't get that anymore. This ends now. And by the way, you're not the only one getting a letter. Riley's getting one too. What? You're suing your sister? Of course. She's responsible for a portion of the tuition I paid, and for thousands of dollars in luxury items she guilted me into buying over the years. You can pay her debt for her if you want, but it's getting paid one way or another. You were fine with it before. Why now? Why are you suddenly acting like this? Because I used to think I was protecting the family, but now I see it clearly that I was just a convenient resource. You two never protected me. I didn't have the time, the money, or the emotional space to fight back before, but now I do. I have a supportive husband, I have Mariah on my side, and most importantly, I have a lawyer who doesn't buy into your guilt trips. I'm not afraid of you anymore. All of this, ends here. I hope you and Riley enjoy learning what it's like to live without draining me dry. Penelope, please! You don't mean this! You can't destroy your family! You already destroyed it! All I'm doing now is making sure I survive the wreckage. Goodbye, and good luck explaining to Riley why her wedding is on hold. Mariah, please, I'm begging you, don't evict me! Just give me a little more time. Please, I'm asking as a favor. I'm sorry, Diana, but I don't understand why you're asking now. That apartment is no longer under any active lease. No one is contracted to live there anymore. It's already been a week since I formally requested that you vacate the premises. And to make matters worse, this month's rent hasn't been paid either. If you'd like to make a request for leniency, it would make more sense to begin by paying what you owe. I'm trying, but things are really tight right now. I just don't have the money at the moment. And I understand that personal situations can be difficult, but I'm not running a charity, Diana. This is my business. I provide housing, and in return, tenants pay rent. That's how it works. If you're unwilling to vacate the unit voluntarily, then I'll have no choice but to begin legal eviction proceedings. This is your final notice. I truly hoped it wouldn't come to this. This can't be happening! Penelope, this is impossible! $230,000! There's no way I can pay that! Ah, so the repayment schedule finally arrived. Yeah, when you pile up 8 years of rent, utilities, credit card debt, and other expenses I covered, it adds up. But no one's asking you to pay it all at once. So, how about you spare me the tears and dramatic language? Unlike you, I'm being reasonable. Your payment plan is based on a 20-year schedule, not 8. Wait, you expect me to be repaying this for the next 20 years? Unless you want to pay it all in a lump sum now, then sure, be my guest. If you've got the full $230,000 sitting around, I'd be happy to close this early. Otherwise, monthly payments, just like you expected me to make for you, every month, for years. I don't have anyone I can ask for help. I have no family to lean on. This is too much. I can't do this alone. I already factored that in. If you follow the plan as laid out on time and in full, you'll be fine. You'll get through it. And let's not act surprised you can't turn to any relatives. That's not my fault. They know everything now, because I told them. So it was you! You poisoned everyone against me! I didn't poison anyone. I just gave them the truth. Your truth. 8 years worth of messages, screenshots, receipts, all the things you conveniently forgot while living off of me. You thought my paying for everything was some natural form of gratitude, didn't you? You called it filial duty, and you used it to squeeze every last penny out of me. Even after I got married, even when I was living on my own, you kept demanding more rent, bills, wedding costs for Riley, luxury handbags. You told me that because I hadn't repaid my debt, I owed you obedience. You called it respect. But really, it was control. And now that the bills are in your name for once, you're acting like it's a death sentence. I lived for years in a crumbling one-bedroom apartment with no heat in the winter, cockroaches in the corners, and barely enough space to turn around. I made sacrifices to keep you in that condo. So yeah, if you end up in a dingy apartment now with no heat and bugs crawling on the floor, you'll survive. I did. Best of luck, Mom. I truly mean that. Wait, Penelope, please! I'm begging you, don't do this. Show some mercy, just a little bit. I already showed mercy for 8 years. I can't take this life anymore. I'm falling apart. Please, help me. How's part-time work treating you? Wasn't this your first job at 65? I remember you said you finally found something. I got fired. What? They said I was too slow, that I couldn't keep up. Now, no one wants to hire me. Every place I try turns me away like I'm worthless. And the jobs I do get are brutal. Heavy lifting, standing all day, my body's falling apart. And Riley, she was supposed to get married. She was engaged. But after your stupid lawsuit, she panicked. She started working in nightlife to cover the costs. She ended up ticking off some dangerous customer, and she hasn't come home since. I haven't heard from her in over a week. I'm terrified something's happened to her. So she's struggling too. Well, I'm sure she'll land on her feet. She's charming. People like her always seem to find a way. Do you even have a heart? How can you say that when your sister is missing? Please, I'm begging you to help us. I can't survive like this. I'm old. I'm tired. I don't have anyone else. You know, that panic you're feeling? That bottomless anxiety that hits you every time you check your bank account? That's been my life since I was 18. Every dollar I spent, every bill that came in, I had to strategize like it was a war plan. You don't get to cry to me now. Not after all that. You don't get to act like this is unfair. You created this mess, and you lived comfortably for years while I starved myself just to keep the lights on for you. I've got a meeting with someone. I made plans, so don't message me again. You made it clear for years how little I mattered. Now you can survive without me. Penelope, wait! I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong! I'll say it. I'll admit it. Just please, please fix this. Fix it? I already did. For me. Penelope, I want to apologize for springing that conversation on you out of nowhere. I didn't mean to catch you off guard. I mean, yeah, it definitely surprised me. You suddenly started talking about inheritance and legal documents. What was I supposed to say? You're not that old, Mariah. I didn't expect you to bring up something like that anytime soon. I know how it must have sounded, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while. These things are always easier to handle when they're planned in advance, not when it's too late. You know my situation. I have no husband anymore. I lost my daughter, my son-in-law, and my grandson. I'm alone, and yet, despite everything, the estate and assets are still sitting there. I don't want all of that to go to waste. I want it to be used for something meaningful, and most of all, I want you to have it. I want you to use that money to live your life fully and happily. Mariah, I don't know what to say. But honestly, I don't think I could accept that. That money belonged to your family. I'm not even related to you by blood. It doesn't feel right. Why would you say that? You are family to me. So what if we're not related by blood? You've become just as precious to me as anyone I've ever called family. I may be your old landlady to the outside world, but in my heart, you're so much more than that. Don't say that like it's one-sided. You're not just some neighborly figure in my life either. You've been everything. A mentor, a guardian. Honestly, you've been more of a mother to me than my own mom ever was. Penelope. Do you remember that time when I was still a kid, and my mom and Riley went on vacation without me? They didn't even tell me until the day they left. I came home to an empty house. I felt so rejected, like I didn't even exist to them. That night, I realized I wasn't actually alone. I cried myself to sleep that night, but they were different tears. You made me feel safe. Oh, honey, I remember. Honestly, I wasn't trying to do anything special. It just didn't sit right with me, the way they treated you. You always looked so isolated, like you were just waiting for someone to notice you. I guess I just couldn't bear to look the other way. You did more than just notice me. You included me in your family. You brought me along to those big holiday dinners with your cousins and relatives. It was the first time I ever felt like I belonged somewhere. All those times being around adults who actually smiled at me, asked me how I was doing, remembered my name, it meant the world. I've never forgotten that. So no, you don't get to call yourself just a landlady or an old woman next door. To me, you're a mother and a grandmother and so much more. I don't know what to say. That means so much to me. You've always had a special place in my heart, Penelope. But hearing you say that, it really does make all of it feel worth it. As for the inheritance thing, can I just be honest? That's a huge decision. I don't think it's something either of us should rush into. I'm incredibly touched, I really am, but I also think we should take our time to figure out what feels right. Would it be okay if I gave it some thought? Of course. I'm sorry I let my age get the best of me. I feel like the older I get, the more impatient I become. I didn't mean to pressure you. Mariah, trust me, being a little impatient is a million times better than being the kind of person who manipulates people for money. You've shown me what love really looks like. You've proven that family isn't just about blood. It's about care, about effort, about choosing someone, even when you don't have to. That's what you've given me, and I'll never forget that. Penelope, I need to talk to you. I heard you already found out. Riley's been arrested. Yeah, I heard. She got caught trying to steal from the business, didn't she? To pay off some loan shark? Yes, that's exactly what happened. She got involved with the wrong people, and now the store's pressing charges. They're demanding restitution, and if we don't settle, she could go to prison. Penelope, please, I'm begging you. I have nowhere else to turn. We're being sued for damages, and I don't have the money. Please, loan me the money so we can settle. I can't let Riley go to jail. You want me to loan you money? Let me get this straight. You still haven't paid back the money you already owe me. Not a single cent. In fact, let's not forget, you used to send me message after message accusing me of running off with your money. You said I was a thief. You told me you'd chase me down until I paid you back in full. You said I'd regret ever crossing you. And now you're asking me for help? I didn't mean it like that. I was just upset back then. Oh, so you were upset. What about me? What about the years you drained me dry, demanded rent and loan repayments while spoiling Riley like a princess? You think you can just pretend none of that happened and ask for a bailout? After everything you did, you really think I'd just hand over money? Oh, I know I made mistakes, but she's your sister. No, she's your daughter, your golden child. You made it clear a long time ago that I wasn't part of the family, just the one you used when you needed something. So here's the deal. You did what you did, and now I'll do what I need to do. I spoke with my attorney. We're moving forward with additional claims. I'm filing for compensation for years of emotional distress and neglect, specifically for child abandonment. What? You're still trying to squeeze money out of me? I already told you I don't have any left. Then sell what you do have. Because I'm coming for everything. Your car, your savings, your brand goods, everything you own is going to be subject to seizure. You stole my future. You used me and discarded me. So now, you're going to lose everything. Money, family, stability, just like you left me with nothing. This time, I'm not the one who's going to be left begging. My mother and sister, unable to bear the hardships of their lives any longer, send me daily messages of apology. They are asking for money, pleading for forgiveness, and hoping that I will help them. Yet, when I was struggling and in need, I was told to handle things on my own, with no assistance or empathy. So, I responded by sending them the exact same words they had sent to me at that time. I don't take any satisfaction in this. It's not about revenge. Rather, it's simply the law of cause and effect. Life is about learning to be thankful, even for the smallest things, like a single grain of rice. Now they are experiencing what it means to live without even that tiny grain, and I believe it's an essential lesson they must learn. It's a hard lesson, but perhaps this will teach them the value of gratitude and how things can turn around when they're willing to face the consequences of their actions. Meanwhile, my husband and I have been blessed with a child. And we are living peacefully and happily. We've built a family of our own, free from the toxic relationships that once weighed us down. Life, for us, is a joy. There's no bitterness, no resentment. We've created our own version of happiness, one that is built on trust, love, and mutual respect. Mariah, too, has become a cherished part of our lives. She comes over to our home often, not just to visit, but to help with the childcare. It's as if she's become a true grandmother, doting on our child with love and affection. Every week, she brings homemade sweets for us, her way of showing her love and care. Her presence in our home has been a gift, and I am grateful every day for the kindness she brings into our lives. Recently, Mariah expressed a wish to help us more, saying, "I want to give you a portion of my inheritance while I'm still alive." That generous offer allowed my husband and me to finally achieve the dream of owning our own home. It's a dream we've worked hard for, and with Mariah's support, it has become a reality. Her generosity has given us the chance to start fresh, to create a safe and loving home for our family. Even though there is no blood relation between us, I have come to realize that family is not defined solely by genetics. The bond we share with Mariah is built on love, respect, and a deep understanding of each other. She has become a motherly figure to me, offering the love and care I had once hoped to receive from my own mother. Ironically, the woman who continued to exploit me for years, my real mother, taught me a valuable lesson in what it truly means to love and care for someone. She showed me what love shouldn't look like. In contrast, Mariah, a complete stranger, demonstrated to me what genuine, unconditional love feels like. Through her, I have learned that true family is created not by blood, but by the bonds of love and affection we form with others. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.